say the next. That was my stance on that. I just felt it to be very confusing.
I know this is going to sound emotional, but I'm starting to feel like every time that Arsenal get a penalty, they are looking for reasons for them to take it away and not reward us. Like we've now had on 2 occasions, our last 2 away games, where we have been awarded a penalty, and the PGMOL has done everything they can. Howard Webb is in the ear of the referee, trying to get him to change the call. I don't know for what reason it is, but I'm just starting to feel that way. When it starts building, like when it's a one-off thing, I'm like, okay. But when we're starting to create catalogs and lists of times that this has happened, I'm starting to get suspicious. This is like 2 years ago when we had twice situations where the ball completely goes out of play and they still award the goals. Like last year we had twice where you had the ball was kicked away, whatever. I've never seen that call be made ever since, and they sent players off for us twice. I'm starting to notice patterns of this, and I generally am somebody who don't like to blame referees. And again, we got the 3 points today, but I have to call it out, Terry. I know it sounds conspiracy theory and tinfoil hat, but it's just too much for me to ignore.
Yeah, the only thing I would say on that penalty, Anton, if Saliba made that tackle in the box and it was the other way around, I would have been screaming.
I would have said it was a penalty. I would have said it was a penalty.
No pen. So that's the only thing.
I'm on your side, Dan, in the sense of I think if you get a touch, it should never be a penalty. My issue is I've now heard the PGMOL on 5-6 different occasions sometimes say a slight touch doesn't make any difference, but yet today it did make a difference. I'm confused on the consistency piece. That's more my argument. Anton, to your point,
they're against us. I agree with you, Anton. They're against
us. Do you know what they need to do? There needs to be a 30-second time limit.
I just think they're shit.
No. Do you know what it is, right? Do you know, because they made the stance clear of it has to be clear and obvious. They get 30 seconds to look at it, and if they can't make a decision, the on-field decision stays. This whole thing of it takes 5 minutes to come up with a decision. How is it clear and obvious?
And then you get 9 minutes of injury time as a result as well.
They need to do it like football, where you got 30 seconds. If they can make a like cricket, 30 seconds for VAR to make a decision. If they can, cool, it's clear and obvious. Otherwise, you can't.
I seen a softer penalty today in the Palace game where the guys
we see it all the time. Look, we know it's inconsistent. It's always going to be the case.
What penalty was that? Why can't I remember the penalty?
The final penalty.
But why don't I remember the foul? Why's my brain gone? Ray Nephews is kicking.
There was 2 people on the floor. There was literally 2 people on the floor. You could have picked one.
Why don't I remember the penalty? Someone explain what happened.
Anyway, Terry, you were going to respond to my point on the...
Yeah. I don't think there's a conspiracy. Listen, I think, you know me. Listen, I've had legal letters from the PGMOL consistent emails. I'm trying to catch me out. They keep putting copyright strikes against all my videos, against my Instagram reels that we put out. But we obviously follow the procedure so that we win the appeals against all these things. So I really push hard to a point where they are after me. I've got a good legal team, and that's paid for by all the super chatters and our members. So thank you guys. I love you guys to bits. But I'm going to keep pushing.
They copyrighted one of my screenshots.
Yeah, the premise, they've done that to me this last couple of weeks. So I put some pictures up of VAR decisions this week, and I woke up in the middle of the night the other night. I had a bit of acid reflux because I'm old. And I thought I settled myself back down before going to sleep. I drank some Gaviscon and I opened my phone, and all my Twitter accounts were blocked because of screenshots of VAR pictures. Screenshots that I didn't even take. I just reposted other people's going, oh, what's this? They're after me. That being said, I don't think they sit there as a collective and say, we've got to stop Arsenal.
Terry,
I think what can happen, I think what they can do is I think certain individuals might have a problem with you. Why do I believe that? Because we've heard a lot of ex-referees sit on the overlap, sit on podcasts and say they held grudges. Very famous example very recently of David Coote. We knew he held a grudge against Klopp and Liverpool. So I think individuals might have agendas. Do I think the entire organization does?
For sure does.
Do I feel like the entire organization does? No, but what they do is they try to protect each other as best they can. So if 1 or 2 guys generally hate Arsenal, which is plausible because ex-referees have said they've hated certain managers, clubs and players, could the PGMOL then protect those referees because they protect themselves Yes, but do I think they get in a meeting all together and say we've got to find a way to screw Arsenal? I don't think there's a conspiracy to that level personally.
Sorry,
It's just that we're getting calls that other clubs are
quick?
not. That's
Can
the
I
only
say
thing I have a
something real
problem
quick to
with.
the penalty? Sorry, I just got another angle and just ran. I was just watching it again. It is a penalty. Everybody, I am sorry I watched only one angle during the game because that was the only angle that I had. There is literal knee-to-knee contact, right?
That's what I said.
Hold on, Miguel. I'm saying,
update your equipment dial.
the angle that I saw it from, it looked like his studs touched the ball from first. The angle that
So what I said made you look at it again.
Yeah, so I pulled up multiple angles now, and they're all running in slow-mo, and I'm literally looking at it, and there's knee-to-knee contact from Saka and the player, and the ball is even in between their legs. Like nobody's touching the ball yet. This is before he makes contact with the ball. And so, yeah, people, I agree. It was a penalty. If we had looked at a different angle, I didn't see it, but it is what it is.
Well, so now let's bring me back to another conversation here, because I feel like the narrative on Viktor Gyökeres has been wrong. And now we're talking about he had that penalty against Newcastle. He could have 2 today. We're bringing his tally all of a sudden from 3 to 6. It's like no, he does take them. Saka only took them the other week because he was his 100th game, his 200th game.
He was practicing penalties in training as well. We don't know. He's a face of the franchise. It's his call.
But anyway, I want to bring a bigger conversation because I feel like
Gyökeres, your time is coming up, lads. Havertz is coming back in November. You better be scoring, or you're
okay. My client
is there to take his place.
So, no. Because I have to quote the manager on this. I've sat through this stream for almost an hour listening to people talk about Gyökeres and say the stuff about Havertz and stuff. Did you not watch Arteta's press conference? I will quote him now. I'm going to say this is Arteta's press conference.
Arteta says a lot.
Start from the beginning on what Viktor Gyökeres gives to the team. He brings so much, and watching the game back, I'm very pleased with what he's given to the team. I told him before the first meeting, the 9 that I want is a 9 that when he doesn't score for 6 or 8 games, he can handle that. If not, you have to go somewhere else because the pressure is gone. The expectation is going to be there. So if you put a number 9 shirt for Arsenal, you have to be able to say, okay, 6 games I don't score. I'm a different player. Start to act in a different way. I want much more of the same of what he's doing. Once he have those opportunities, he'll put them in. I'm sure that's going to happen. So what he basically was trying to say to Gyökeres before he even came to the door is we've got Sakas in this team. We've got before Eze wasn't there then, but now we've got Eze's in this team. We've got the Declan Rices. We got set piece FC. You know, we can score from set pieces. There's so many different avenues to go. There's so many, let's say, big alpha males in this team that weren't necessarily in the sporting team, that we don't need Gyökeres to score an obscene amount of goals. But what he does need to be able to do, which is but he gives you something that other teams have to plan for, that they do not have to plan for Havertz.
They're not better than what Havertz will do.
For instance, if Gyökeres isn't the threat the defensive think he is, like everyone is saying, then they would go back to doubling Saka and they would leave him unmarked. And what would happen in that situation? Gyökeres would destroy them. So Anton, these defenses are coming and they seeing that him as a focal point and they're planning.
What we're saying about Gyökeres is we haven't had a striker in so long, a gunman as they call it, So a lot of Arsenal fans are living off of a bit of hopium with.
But what's with this Havertz conversation though?
No, but I'm just saying you need to come to the realization. I hear a lot of Arsenal fans screaming out and saying he's going to come good. He's going to come. We don't know if he's going to come good. He might come good. At this present moment,
that's my point. This is a long season, right? Like in maybe a week or 2 weeks or a month, Gyökeres might all of a sudden get into a real purple patch and start banging in the goals.
Sorry, Sol. Hold on,
1 second. I haven't even said anything on this, right?
Okay, go on.
The reality of the matter is, right, we have got a league to win. If Gyökeres doesn't want to come good soon, and Havertz is there on the bench, and he comes on and he starts scoring and he's performing better, he's not.
Sorry, Anton, can I say something real quick? See, Sauls, I think you quickly forget. This was the same Kai Havertz who, when we first got him, his first half of the season was crap. He picked up in the second half of the season. That's when he started. Hey, no. Hold on.
He didn't play up top,
Every
though.
single one of us wanted Kai Havertz out of the team in the first half of the season. Yes or no, Dan? Remember this? I wanted him out. I didn't want him to play in the second half. Hold on.
CDM now, isn't he?
Wait.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Guys, let me jump in, please. Dive finish, and I'm going to go back to you, Souls, okay?
Yeah, in the running of the second half of the season, Kai Havertz picked up, scored 14 goals out of 16 games. We all started praising him. Oh, he will take this form into the next season. Great stuff. Great Thierry Henry, who is our greatest player and probably the greatest Premier League player, did not score for Arsenal for the first 9 games.
Skigs.
Right? For the first 9 games, he did not put a ball in the back of the net. So let's not act like, oh, just because.
Let
me finish.
And
the problem you have with Gyökeres is this, right? You've built a different facade of what you want your striker to be, and we haven't played with an out-and-out 9 in Arsenal since Aubameyang, which simply means that it's going to take time for that out-and-out 9 and that system to actually begin to work. We've seen this happen with many teams. We're not an exception here. He's not going to wake up overnight. He scored 3 goals in 8 games. Call it what you may be. He's already put in the ball in the back of the net and showed you that he can score. He's had a drought now. What I want is the mentality. A 9 that says, okay, I've had a drought. In the next game, he looked better today. He did not play better, but he looked better with the ball. He didn't look as clunky as he used to be. He had shots on target. He won his tackles. He did what he needs to do. My thing is, eventually, he's an out-and-out 9. He will come good. And Havertz is not an out-and-out 9. Havertz gives us a different perspective on the 9. To me, he's a false 9, right? So again,
I am coming to you next. I want to ask you a question coupled in with what he said. Do you feel your team are creating enough for him, though? Do you feel that there are those, for instance, you look at Haaland's first goal today, that cross, it still had a bit to do with the header. But I can't remember too many opportunities where the ball's been played in and Gyökeres has had a really good chance to score a goal. The goal he scored where Eze crossed it, where he should be, I don't remember too many of them. And I do look at it and think, could your teammates create more for him? Like, I just want to throw that with what Darryl said.
I'm not disagreeing that the team can step up and do more, but if they're not going to do that, and if that's not the dynamic that we can go and do, then he needs to start getting involved more. Look at Haaland's game that's evolved on the Pep as well. Like, he's coming deeper. He's trying to collect the ball. Look, prime example, one of the times that Kevin De Bruyne absolutely destroyed us under Arteta, Haaland was the one that playing deeper and De Bruyne was the one who went forward. And that's the difference that he needs to start bringing into his game. I'm not saying to write him off right now. I'm just saying his time where he's going to get this sort of run and confidence and sort of where he's getting this sort of free pass is coming to an end, because Havertz, when he returns from his injury, we know exactly what he brings when he plays up front. And if Havertz,
he brings shit.
Of course, Gyökeres brings shit as well. He's also been in a goal drought. Yeah, so we can go both ways on this. But the reality of the matter is we know what Havertz brings, and he has brought some good things in terms of creativity, the number of chances. People said, just put a striker there. By the way, this is the narrative that I was getting told, and this is why I massively disagreed with, and this is why I'm pushing back on it, because the narrative was just put a striker there, the chances will be created. See, it's not as simple as that. It's not just go get a striker and everything will happen.
But we're not creating chances.
Guys, let Souls finish, please.
That's why I kept saying, like, it's not as simple as just go get Gyökeres, because the reality is the reason why I was pushing for a Sesko profile more than a Gyökeres is because our striker does need to do more. Even if you look at Haaland can no longer just be a fox in the box and just score goals. He also needs to drop deep and actually contribute to the team if he isn't scoring. And that's why his game isn't as silent anymore. And that's what Gyökeres needs to start developing as well, because I got told he can do the hold up, but I'm yet to see it. So this is the transition I need to start seeing. Now, I'm not saying as soon as Havertz comes in, that's it, he's going to go in. But what I'm saying is, if he doesn't buckle up, we've not got the time to just keep giving him month after month after month after month just to allow him to come good. If Havertz comes in, let's say he comes off the bench, let's say for 4 games and scores 2 goals off the bench every time, unfortunately, Gyökeres, you're going to have to hold it. That's all I'm saying.
Real talk.
Everything you said right now, his stats say differently. His stats in this game, he didn't look well. And I'm looking at his stats right now, says totally differently from everything he said right now. In the box, he won his duels 3 out of 4. He won 1 out of his 3 aerial duels. He was fouled twice in the box. Foul he committed was 1. His shot accuracy was 2 out of 3. He made 5 out of 9 accurate passes, which means that he was dropping deep to help out. This stats here show that he was helping. He was holding the ball. He was passing accurately. So everything you just said right now, again, you're looking at him through the goggles of you wanted a different striker and we got this striker, so you're not going to see anything good he does. The truth is, when Gyökeres does have the ball, when Gyökeres does have the ball, defenders are attracted to him. We've seen Saka freer since we got Gyökeres. Saka has been more free. Saka is not getting doubled up on as much. It's one person now. Look, today's game with the penalty, it's one defender on him that just has to go all out because they know that if Gyökeres is given a chance, and we created 3 big chances, all the noise we're making, we're not creating chances for him. We created 3 big chances, and yet he's dropping back to do all of these things. 8 touches in the box.
We are creating chances for him, so why is he not scoring?
We haven't created enough chances. He had half chances today. All I'm saying is,
I've got another question,
guys. I respect you, boys. Let me jump to some of these super chats here.